Hi everyone, my name is Yehuda Zagarov. I'm a squad lead in the EOM group based in Israel. Thank you for joining my session. In the next 15 minutes or so, I would like to share with you how my team has adopted the Scrum process to make it work better for us. I hope that by the end of this session, you will be able to apply some of these adjustments or similar ones in your team, if you think needed, of course. So today we're going to talk about Agile and Scrum, the challenges that we faced within our team, and what we did to solve it. Okay, so a few words about Agile, Scrum, and the difference between them. Agile is a development framework based on iterative and incremental approach. It has several implementations. One of them is Scrum, in which incremental builds are delivered to the customer in every 2 or 3 weeks' time. And as you know, at Chegg, most teams are working in 2 weeks long sprint. Okay, so a typical Scrum process looks as following. It starts with a sprint pre-planning meeting, in which we discuss the scope of the sprint, followed by a planning meeting, which details the tasks that we will work on. Every day we have a daily sync meeting, and at the end of the sprint, we review the work that was done within the sprint and discuss what we can improve in the future in the retrospective meeting. So here are a few fun facts. Did you know that elephants are the only animal that can't jump? And that the strongest muscle in the body is the tongue? And maybe the most surprising fact is that the Scrum process can be customized. But why would we want to customize it? Why do we need to change anything? To answer that, I would like to share with you how our daily meetings looked like only 1 year ago. During our Zoom sessions, all I saw was happy, smiley faces. But it was obvious during our discussion that no one was really listening to other team members currently speaking. They were reading the news or checking their phones and mainly not engaging in our discussions. This was, of course, only one symptom of the problem that made me realize that something was not working. To get to the bottom of it, we decided to brainstorm. What I heard from the team was, why do I need to waste 30 minutes of my time to give just a 5 minutes update? Most of the topics are not relevant for me. I have no one to consult regarding my problem. My manager doesn't have time to join the meetings that I schedule. And also, my favorite coffee capsule is always missing, but that was irrelevant. After we understood what didn't work, we tried to discover why it didn't work. The ideal Scrum team size is 7 people, including product manager, Scrum master, and 5 developers. We were 12, and that was too much, which caused our team meetings to be very long and tedious. People couldn't achieve focus as they were shifting between tasks and domains. As a result, we were not able to create SMEs for the main domains. In general, there were too many flying balls and only one hovering in the air, chaos. So, how did we make the Scrum work for us? A custom-made Scrum process that fits our needs. What's the solution? Okay, so as I mentioned before, I'm part of EOM team, which is part of the commerce organization and is responsible for the commerce subscription management post-checkout. The first thing that we did was to map our domains. We've identified 4 critical domains that were the core of the team's work. Now, those 4 domains were organically divided into 2 squads. Of course, our decision was based on context and relation between the domains. Next, we've assigned a lead to each of the squads. The restructure of the team was a good start. Now, many concerns were raised about the execution of the Scrum process. Do we also split the daily? How do we manage the Scrum? How can we share knowledge across the team? How do we manage resource allocation? Should we keep the retro on the team level? And maybe the most major concern was how do we keep both squads in sync? Okay, now I would like to share with you the Scrum adjustment that we made. To keep the daily meeting short and concise, we kept it on the squad level. Sprint pre-planning was a meeting that we had to involve the entire team to keep all of us synced. Same goes for the sprint review meeting. Changes that were deployed to production had to be shared across the team, so it also made sense to put it on the team level. Now, as we wanted to improve and share lessons learned from each squad, we also invited the whole team to the retrospective meeting. Sprint planning was a much more detailed meeting, which is more on the tickets and assignment level, so we decided to split it between the squads. The last customization that we applied was having a weekly shared daily meeting in which everyone can stay synced on the day-to-day work. We made some additional adjustments to better fit the process to our needs. We held a brief unified planning talk just to make sure people don't step on anyone else's toes. In order to share knowledge, we published all design documents on a shared channel for people to review. The design meetings are open for everyone. And in order to remind ourselves that we are still one big team, we have a quality time in which we drink coffee together before every weekend. One important matter that always reminds us that we are still one team with one system is the on-call in production. We support it 24/7 together with Ecom team in Santa Clara. The team meets once a week to discuss the common issues, for which we create tickets, label it with the relevant squad, and prioritize it into our sprints. Okay, so to conclude, we know that today we are different. The main feature that we work on are different, and they usually have different timelines. The domains that we work on are also different. But as mentioned, we work on the same one system. We use the same technologies, and the parts that we work on are very much dependent on each other. Let's explore some of the things we gained from the process I described. So first of all, the team split created two smaller and more focused squads. As a result, each daily meeting is shorter and more concise. We now also have the ability to invest in long-term initiatives as the number of context switches was significantly reduced. The side effect of this was the ability of people to become SMEs of the features they led. From the manager point of view, it's easier to drive limited scope of domains. And of course, all the points I mentioned naturally cause people to be much more happy. So, what can each and every one of you do tomorrow in order to make Scrum work better for you? First of all, understand that there is no magic. The second thing is probably not to be afraid of changes. Most chances are that you already have some kind of Scrum process in your team. Take the time to discuss if it's suitable for your team needs. Don't attempt to generate revolutions. Choose one or two adjustments and try them out to see if it improves the process. Adopt what works and leave the rest. Okay, that's all. I hope the session was helpful and that you can take something from it. If there are any questions, I would love to answer.
Guys, is there any questions anybody want to ask? Please feel free to either ask or just write it down in the chat box. I think that's a no. Yehuda, I think customizing a sprint is of course a very smart way but also making sure that we do not lose the essence of a team, and also collaborating, especially on the production issues.
Of course, this was always the trade-off that we thought about, like having the team synced, but still wanting to split in order to get focused. So
right. So I think it's a very practical approach to things, and that is very much requisite in today's, especially in the terms of where there are bigger teams. So that is really, really helpful. And I think everybody who has been part of this chat can actually partake this into this daily activities. Thank you so much for this talk.
Sure, thank you.
And so guys, so we have a small break of 10 minutes, but please stay connected. We will have a session with virtual games and a rapid fire with our Chegg, our CTO, on the other side of the break. So this will happen in the main room. So post that, we will have other multiple talks by esteemed guests in room 1 and rooms 2 respectively. So please stay connected. We'll be moving to room 1 after this, and we are having a small break of 10 minutes. So please don't go away. We have a very productive session after that as well. See you after 10 minutes.